Hello, this is Rafi, and today we're gonna talk about a match. We are Age of Empires 3 players in Game Ranger, somewhat noob-med player, and the room was also noob plus room, and the players are somewhere between noob and med. Like they are above noob and maybe somewhat med or maybe below med, and this was a match in the corner of the map. If I remove the fog of war, you can see there is me in the green, Rafi, and yellow was Hitokiri with India, and I was with Russia. And in the western corner there was Lord Carjon, and in the south there was Mez. So if you guys watch this video, some of you who wants to know about the Russian rush, then you can get some info maybe. Here you see that uh, if I select the green, what I did, I did a 14 villager age up. If I play fast the video a bit, then you can see that I put 14 villager age up. I made only one house with the 100 wood I got, and then there was this 8 villager. Then two more batches of settlers will come, and I put all of them on food. And the explorer was exploring, so let's give it a bit faster. And the first card I chose was the wood trickle card. You can see the deck I chose because it was in Carolina. I chose a rushing deck, but some cards were like fishing cards, like the schooner card makes the fishing boat cheaper. And now that my last batch of settlers are coming, with Russia you can do 17 villager age up, but if you have rushing intention in your head, you should age up with 14 villagers. Sometimes earlier I used to age up with 17 villagers, but that gives me a little bit, used to put me behind a little bit in the rush games. So if I play then at this time, when my partner was texting me, Hitokiri, that this is a matter of prestige because the other two players are also known to us, same country. We have to win. But by this time, I lost the track of my food collection, and I did not press age up yet. There you see that after I got 1000 food, then I pressed the age up. So it was a mistake from my end. But with the with the trickle of woods, I already got 100 wood in my stock, so I made a house. And in H2, I will show you my shipments. In H2, my first two shipments, I'll talk about it. You see, the other player, the blue player, Lord Carjon, he has already aged up. And my partner, Ally, he has put his base here in the near the purple's base, and I already sent my villager here, the green my Russian villager here. So, but I'm a little bit late, you see. But I aged up. But I just got my 250 wood from. I aged up with the 400 wood age up. So with that wood, and you see my first shipment in the H2, I pressed the 700 wood card. I always do that. Sometimes you can, if you wanna rush very hard, you can send 13 Strelad as well. But I prefer to choose the 700 wood and then the 600 wood card because I feel settlers very secured if I put a block house near their hunts, near where the villagers are working. So if I get like two wood shipments, two carts of woods, then I can make lots of blockhouses here and there, and my settlers cannot be raided. So that's why I choose those wood cards. I age up with 400 wood. My first card at H2 is 700 wood card, and my second card I use is for 600 wood. And there you see that we have targeted this area. We targeted maize in purple color because first of all we saw that he was taking Germany. So we thought that whichever ship he would take, he might have a fast fortress agenda in his head. So we wanted to rush him and wanted to stop his fast fortress agenda. That means H3 agenda. There you see that I'm making my second blockhouse already, and my settler count. I'm also making settlers at the same time, and my first batch of strelets are on the way. But then suddenly we discovered that Maze in purple, he has made a blockhouse here. That means which is near our town center. So we quickly sent those 13 train strelets, and my ally Hitokiri has sent some sepoys, which are musketeers. So there you can see that he was trying to raid, so he started well. But then because I saw him using some cap, that 5 cap card. So I have sent some 5 musketeers, and there you can see that Lord Carjon, our enemy, he came with some musketeers. But what saved us here is the Agra Force cannons. Agra Force cannons, and here it was an even war. Even Maze was gaining because he had more strelets than us. But I used the 13 strelet cards then. And my third card at H3 was 13 strelet cards. And we got him under control. So it was a crucial war for us. This was the first war which we somehow managed to win, because Purple lost more soldiers than us. Then you see that in the queue I had 13 strelets coming, and 10 more I was making, and I was also making the market upgrades. And so I brought my soldiers, my infantry back, because I saw that my ally was going with those towers to kill those strelets. So the first war was won by us, and I was regrouping, and we were targeting Maze, the guy in purple, because we didn't want to allow him to go to H3. So there you can see that I had like 25 soldiers there and 10 more coming. That means 35. I had 5 masks and 30 strelets. That means 35. And my ally, we had some sepoy. There you can see. We still don't know that what's going on. What is Blue is doing, Lord Carjon, we don't know. But I was adamant, and we were preparing for an assault. You can see that I was taking my first trade post, but they had already taken 2 trade posts somewhere around here and here. And there you can see he has amassed some strelets, some good number of strelets, but they are outnumbered, you see. I made another blockhouse around here, this position, because to protect my settlers. If any raids come, then my settlers can garrison there. And there you can see with the sowars of my partner and the sepoys and my higher number of strelets, we also won the second war as well. And we were trying to destroy the blockhouse here and also the barrack here. By this time, I did a little mistake. I went to get the door, and I told my partner that I am going to be AFK for maybe 1 minute. So we got his blockhouse here. I had like 37 strelets. You see, he lost. Blue has lost a settler as well here. And blue was also making some longbowmen, as you can see. And what was the next card I chose? I had an idle villager. At this time I was maybe AFK for 30 seconds. I had to get the door and talk to someone. I was telling my partner to just push, and I told him not to age up. And you see that blue was losing his longbow. And we had taken already one trade post. I had already taken. Let's play it a bit fast. And there you can see that in the base, blue had sent some musketeers. But I garrisoned the villagers in the town center, called some minutemen, and also with this barrack at my base, I made 10 strelets as well, and then focused here at the town center of purple. There you can see that he was still making some strelet. He was making one block house after another, but the damage was done in the first two wars, And Hitokiri was also making some sours, and I have already fended off the blue musketeer, raid in my town center, and I sent the villagers away. And there I lost few strelets because I haven't noticed that he was sending caps. But because I had so little, I did not make much musketeers, so I had to fight the cab with my strelets. But Lord Karjon sent around 5 to 10 cabs, which did some significant damage to my strelets. Then I ungarrisoned my villagers, brought in the 10 strelets from there. And Maze used the musketeers in melee mode and killed some of Hitokiri's sours, which are not very strong as normal cavalry. And after losing some strelets, I made few batches of musketeers, as you can see, like around 15 musketeers, because blue was often doing those cab attacks to my musketeers. And there, blue wasn't making much at this time, but maybe he was about to age up, but I was not willing to age up. I was just pushing because we had significant gain in the first 2-3 wars. They lost lots of units, and already purple, he has aged up, but he's so far below. His score was down because he lost so many units. And then I suddenly noticed that he popped out two cannons. So I thought that this would be difficult. So I just went to melee mode on the cannons, and I I killed those. I destroyed those cannons, but lost some lots of strelets. So I took the five Hussar, the what do you call it? Five Cossack shipment, because my strelets were being heavily damaged, heavily killed. But the third blockhouse of Mage has been successfully destroyed, and there we suddenly found that Mage has made another blockhouse around the trade post. By that time, I took the second trade post, and to counter this Mage's this blockhouse, I sent some. Oh, I took the schooner card back then, because before the schooner card I took the two galleys. I took two galleys from the card. You can see two caravels, and because I wanted to do the fishing as well, because my score was not increasing. So I wanted to boost the score up. Also, the hunts were almost dried up. I was not finding much hunt. So I used those two caravels, and because my gold collection was very poor, you see, I put 10 settlers on food, 13 on wood, because I wanted to go to and make some boats. So I was cutting some extra wood, but generally it should be like 17 on food, 5 or 6 or 7 villagers on wood, and my gold collection was not so good, so I put the two caravels on gold, and I also sent this villager, to make some docks around here. So I was so much into rushing and going forward that I was collecting too much wood by then, and I made another batch of strelets here from my home block house. I sent 10 strelets to finish off the block house of maize, which was in the middle, and the musketeers of maize has taken down one of my trade posts. So I wanted to retake the trade post, and I went alone into the Lord Carjon's base, but faced some cavalry. But I had 10 musketeers, so I was not so afraid. But his longbow was doing well. His longbow was doing not so bad. And my ally went to get that blockhouse of maize in purple. And I was taking on the longbowman, and I wanted to quickly destroy the barrack of Lord Karjan, because the hussars were doing lots of damage to my strelet. And I was shooting at some of his villagers as well, because loss of villagers is hard to cover. There again he made another batch of, and here already the mage's fourth barrack has been destroyed, and the longbow of Lord Karjon, he did a mistake maybe here, because the longbows came forward, maybe a misclick or something. And he called Minutemen as well. So we were doing quite well by this then, but my ally has aged up, as you can see. I made couple of docks around here. I was not willing to do age up, but Lord Karjan was making some hussar and doing some damage to my strelets. That's when I decided that I might have to age up as well, because my strelets were weak. I wanted to do some upgrades. And yellow was not pushing. He lost some units, he aged up, he lacked units. So my push was not effective because the longbows were good. And you see some of my idle villagers were there as well. I was not playing so well. I still haven't noticed that my settlers are idle. So here I found that Strelets longbows were better than Strelets. And he had some good amount of longbows. And also I wasn't microing very well. And then Mage made another one batch of Strelets as well. So it was not going so well. I was running out of food, so I made some boats, cheap boats, which costed 40 woods because I used the schooner carts. Otherwise, it would have been 100 woods. So I needed food to make more strelets. So I was making some boats, lots of boats. And maybe this war we did not do very well. And there, Lord Carjon ungarrisoned his villagers. But it was a mistake. He lost few villagers here. He shouldn't have ungarrisoned at this point. But his longbows were doing well, some good kills. As you can see. But Maze had upgraded strelets, so they are doing some damage from this corner. And those longbows of Lord Carjon were doing some damage. And I was not microing very well. So I think that it was a bad idea to push forward with such a situation. I had put lots of boats on food, and I put nothing on gold because I had too much gold. But this war, I think that we lost this fourth or fifth engagement because their longbows and strelets were doing quite well. So we went back. Our score was good. Hitokiri had good score, around 200. I had like 130. They were doing 135 and 102. So we kept pushing, but I felt the necessity of increasing the power of my units. And this fishing activity gave me some quick food. I gave the fishing upgrades as well. I've already taken the 2 fishing upgrade cards. There I was not focusing much on the war this time, but my score was increasing because I went fishing as well. My fishing was successful. Then I wanted to take another of his trade post, but we retreated. Our engagement was not giving much fruits. So my boats were in action. They gave me the wood I needed to go to H3, and I aged up. As a team, our score was better by that time. So let's play it a little bit fast. I sent a batch of musketeers to take one of the trade posts, and Hitokiri was also needed to remake the units because our unit depleted, but our map control was too much. We had a good map control. Most of the map were controlled by us by that time. I aged up and I upgraded both my Strelet and Musketeer. And by that time I put some of my fishing boats on gold as well, because my gold was depleted. And the first card which I took the 1000 wood, and then as far as I can remember, I took the 1000 food card. Now 1000 gold card. And I lost my 5 musketeers around here because Lord Karjan saw me that I was trying to take his trade post, and I haven't noticed his longbowman. I was concentrating on somewhere else. And after the upgrades, my fishing boats were giving me lots of foods. My villagers were cutting good amount of wood. So all I had to do is spam some musketeers, some strelets, because my ally made some sowers which could kill some of those longbowmen and some of those strelets. So that's what happened. We made few batches of strelets. I mixed it with some musketeers as well, in case he makes some hussars. So there it was. We went to push. He made lots of mahaut. Mahauts were like, you know, good against skirmishers. They work like cabs, like hussars. I think I made arsenal improvements as well. Somewhere I don't remember. There, they had significant amount of strelets and longbowmen, but I kept making more and more. And the mahaut did some damage. My strelets were coming. So it was then that they were texting that it's all over. Our scores were good. Hitokiri 300, me 200. Lord Karjan dropped down to 120, Mez 150. And by that time, Lord Karjan resigned and he said, good game. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope to see you again. This is Rafi signing off.